By late 2025, Bukayo Saka had crossed the 200 appearance mark in the Premier League. He scored over 50 goals, wears the captain's armband for Arsenal, and is widely regarded as one of the elite right-wingers in world football. But rewind to 2018, and the landscape around him was bleak. Arsenal was a club adrift, desperately searching for a new identity, and the English national team was dragging around decades of historical failure, defined by generations of unmet expectations. Bukayo Saka emerged directly from this landscape, a local kid from Ealing raised by Nigerian immigrant parents. He was quiet, unassuming, and certainly not pegged as a guaranteed future superstar. Early in his senior career, his own captain, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, nicknamed him Little Chilly. It was a nod to his buzzing energy and small frame, rather than the moniker of a commanding leader. As a teenager, he stepped into that void, becoming a foundational pillar for club and nation, absorbing every responsibility placed on him. Saka joined Arsenal's Hale End academy when he was just 7 years old, progressing rapidly through the youth ranks before his senior debut at 17. Almost immediately, he was handed a severe tactical problem. Following injuries to established defenders Kieran Tierney and Siad Kolasinac, Arsenal had a glaring hole in their backline. The teenager was forced out of his natural attacking role and dropped into left back. He thrived in unfamiliar territory, seamlessly linking defense to attack. Under Mikel Arteta, responsibility escalated. Saka was moved up and across to the right wing. As the creative anchor, he used his left foot to cut inside and dictate the attack. The shift was mathematically devastating. He finished the following campaigns as the club's top scorer and won back-to-back Arsenal Player of the Season awards.
Thierry Henry was the last person to retain that trophy. His rise came entirely from his capacity to look at a club's structural gaps, whether it was a missing defender or a lack of attacking creativity, and fill them, turning organizational crises into personal milestones. By July 2021, that pattern of absorbing pressure reached the international stage. He was 19 years old, walking into the tunnel of the Euro 2020 final. The match against Italy went to a penalty shootout, and the teenager, who had never taken a senior penalty kick in his entire career, was selected to take England's deciding fifth kick. Saka's crucial penalty effort was ultimately saved by the diving Italian goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, and as a result, Italy won the shootout and the tournament. What followed was the absolute emotional nadir of his career. In the immediate aftermath of the miss, Saka was subjected to a torrent of severe, targeted racist abuse online.
This is where the narrative around young prodigies usually fractures, but the true measure of a big moment player is found precisely here, in how they respond when pressure completely crushes them on a global stage. His response was defiant. Returning to the national team, Saka won back-to-back England Men's Player of the Year awards for the 2021-22 and 2022-23 seasons. Domestically, his impact exploded. He drove Arsenal's title challenges by hitting 14 and then 16 league goals. Producing that output requires sheer endurance. Saka broke a club record by making 83 consecutive Premier League appearances, and the international ghosts of 2021 were permanently exorcised. At the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, he announced his presence at the absolute peak of the sport, scoring 3 goals in the tournament. 3 years after Wembley, the opportunity returned. In the Euro 2024 quarterfinal in Switzerland, he struck a clinical equalizer before stepping up to convert his penalty in the shootout. There is a specific meaning behind the name Bukayo. Originating from the Yoruba language spoken by his parents in southern Nigeria, it translates to adds to happiness. By taking on the heaviest responsibilities and answering every call to adapt, he defined a new standard for world-class ability, and he did it with a smile.